The dark truth that Aaron Abke revealed about Bentinho Massaro. A few weeks ago, an interview came out on the Insta Guru series, Aaron Abke, talking about Bentinho Massaro. I want to go deep into it today in this video. Stick around for some new insights into this whole Bentinho Massaro case. Let's get into it right now. For the people that don't know me, I have been following Bentinho Massaro for 8 years now. I have followed his teachings, I've followed his YouTube. I've never been to a retreat of his, but I've followed everything online what he is doing. And I got some benefits from it. It helped me with meditation and stuff like that. But ever since the Insta Guru series came out, I've been questioning everything about him. Now I wanted to shoot this video earlier, but I've been traveling. So now I got the opportunity to talk about this. Now I think everyone knows who Aaron Abke is. I didn't know myself who he is, but he is a teacher about the law of one, which is the same teaching where a lot of Bentinho Massaro stuff is based on. Even though I follow Bentinho Massaro for 8 years, I've never really investigated much in the law of one. My apologies if I don't say things correctly about the law of one. I'm not an expert on that. I don't really believe in it either, but that's just my own personal opinion. I'm not gonna go into law of one. I'm not gonna be talking about STS and all that stuff. I don't care about that. What I do care about is that Aaron Abke came forward and talked about Bentinho Massaro and what was really going on. So if you watched the interview, I might link it in my description, the interview, for you to watch at the Insta Guru series. And what you will notice is that Aaron Abke came very open to the situation, wanting to see who Bentinho Massaro is, wanting to create some content with him, do some amazing stuff with him. And I didn't knew Aaron Abke, but he seems like a really genuine guy. He seems really genuine, nice guy, a good person. And nobody wanted to listen to Jade, nobody wanted to listen to Keelan, nobody wanted to listen to Jacqueline. But as soon as Aaron Abke came forward, the great teacher about law of one, now everyone is turning against Bentinho Massaro, which to me is ironic because I've been from the start, when the Insta Guru series came out, I was done with Bentinho. Now listen to this. Aaron Abke came actually to meet Bentinho Massaro, and he told in the interview that he is completely different online than in person. So everyone that has seen him online creating this and portraying this picture of himself is not who he is behind the scenes. And that's why you have people like me following him for a long time, because the image he portrays online is very different from who he really is behind the scenes. Aaron Abke talked about how much sexual jokes are going on, how he's acting like a teenager, how he wanted Aaron Abke to wingman him into getting laid with one of his students, one of Bentinho Massaro's students. And none of this is online. So all of this he hides in the public. But in private, he acts like a teenage horny kid. And I think it's so hard for Bentinho Massaro's followers is to believe that all of this was happening. Because Bentinho Massaro has such a strong frame into believing that he's holier than thou, that if you have been following him for a while, you really start to fall into his frame. And if you don't know what frame means in simple terms, falling for his strong worldview, how he sees the world, falling for his perspectives and beliefs. A good example would be Trump. Trump has a strong frame. Everyone believes everything he says, and everything that is against him is either seen as a lie, of some left-wing agenda against him, of fake news, etc. So all the allegations that go against Trump, nobody following Trump will agree with that, because they're so strongly in his frame, in his beliefs, in his worldview. And the same happens when you follow Bentinho for a long time. And even if you get some benefits from meditations or stuff like that, you have to question, is it worth it? You can get meditation somewhere else. You can do your inner work somewhere else. You don't have to follow Bentinho Massaro for that. And honestly, I don't even know, after the Aaron Abke interview came out, why Bentinho still has 159,000 followers. In fact, his followers have increased since the allegations. And just recently he has posted another video again on his YouTube account, pretending like nothing happened, like nothing is going on, and literally ignoring all the allegations. He's not talking about it. He's not holding any attention towards it. He's just hoping that it will pass by and that the bad press will eventually fade out. So if you're still following Bentinho Massaro, what I would tell you is wake up. People have spoken out about it. Aaron Abke has spoken out about it. He's not gaining anything from this. Aaron Abke doesn't gain anything from speaking out about this. In fact, he probably will lose some followers for doing this. So he's doing an act of service to warn you of who Bentinho Massaro is, which is a sand devil. Bentinho Massaro is a sand devil, and he is warning you about it. And if you follow the law of one or not, I don't care. Because even Aaron Abke told how many things he is doing against the law of one. And I don't know anything about the law of one, but I know that Aaron Abke knows something about the law of one. And that Aaron Abke told he was doing a lot of things against the law of one. So he's not even living up to his own teachings. How can we still take a teacher seriously when he's not even living up to his teachings? If your actions don't back up your words are literally nothing. And Bentinho Massaro hasn't been backing up his words for the longest of time. And I'm still shocked that so many people still are in his frame. That so many people still believe because they got some little value from it. Even if you get some value from a cult leader, doesn't mean that you now should still keep following the cult. You can have value anywhere. You can get value from anywhere. And maybe even Bentinho had some spiritual experience that helped him at the front end to become a great teacher. But that doesn't mean you can still be a sand devil. You can still have no morals into place. You can still do bad. You can still be super selfish, to cross other people's boundaries, to abuse people. All of this can still happen even if you have a lot of knowledge, because it's not embodied. And we have seen this for the longest of times with priests, with prophets who preach. And they preach, but then you learn that they're not living up to their preachers. They're not living up to their teachings, and they're falling short, which is fine and human if you fall short, but at least be authentic about it. But if he would be authentic about his shortcomings, he wouldn't have any followers because he wouldn't be seen as holier than thou. The only reason people fall for his frame is how he portrays himself to be holier than thou and more important than anyone else. The only reason to remain his frame is to say that he has no shortcomings at all. Because as soon as he admits that he has any shortcomings and that he is just a flawed human just like you, making stupid fucking mistakes. And at this point, these are not mistakes, these are charges against you. Everything that's coming out about Bentinho is almost more a criminal case than just some human flaws or some human mistakes. And ask yourself this. If the leader of North Korea would take full accountability of everything he has done, would he still be the leader of North Korea? The dictatorship is run on lies. For Kim Jong-un to be the leader, he lies to the people. He has to lie to the people. Because if he would take any accountability, he would lose all credibility. And the only way for people to get out of North Korea is to escape it and not to wait for the leader to take any accountability. Because Kim Jong-un will never take any accountability. Trump will never take any accountability. And Bentinho Massaro will never take any accountability. Because by taking accountability, they would lose their power position. They would lose their frame and they would lose their followers. They will lose everything that they have gained. And they lost themselves in trying to gain. This is literally in the Bible. Like, what if you gain the whole world but lose your soul? Bentinho Massaro is trying to gain everything he can, but is losing his soul. And now that he's so deep in the rabbit hole, he's not gonna stop. So it's up to you, if you're still following Bentinho, to stop. To not wait for him to take accountability. Because he will not. Trump will never admit that he did anything wrong. Kim Jong-un would never admit that he did anything wrong. Bentinho Massaro will never admit he did anything wrong. So we have to stop seeing these teachers holier than ourselves, better than ourselves. If Bentinho Massaro is a god, why can he not fix his herpes? If Bentinho Massaro is a god, why can he not make the bad press go away? If Bentinho Massaro is a god, why does he need to do all these games in order to get laid? Play all these spiritual mind games about sexual energy and sexually healing and freeing yourselves and fucking his students to freedom. This is literally what he said. I'm not making this up. He literally said fucking someone to freedom. And I don't know if he believes all of this nonsense or if he's making this all up along the way, which in the end doesn't matter. In the end, all that matters is that you just stop following Bentinho Massaro and no longer put him higher than you put him. You project some God on this person when he's just a human being just like you. So if you're a Bentinho Massaro follower, I'm asking you, why are you still following him? Have you looked at the Insta Guru series? Have you looked at every single episode? And after you have done that, why are you still following him? What makes you believe there's any good reason to still follow him? Because I want to know in the comments. I want to know why you're still following him. Why you think it's still good to support this monster. I want to know. Let me know. I'm not going to be offended. Let's be honest. Let's just be honest and talk about why you're still following him. Any Bentinho Massaro followers, let me know in the comments. Why you're still following him? Why you're still supporting this? You got some value from it, great, but that doesn't mean anything to keep supporting a guy that is completely different from his online persona. It's like finding out your partner has been a cheater. If your partner has been cheating on you, are you now still gonna pretend they aren't cheating? Are you gonna pretend that how you knew them to be is still who they are? Or are you gonna admit that they have been living a double life and have been lying, cheating, and playing games with you? This is also why I never get why people go back to cheaters. If someone cheats on you, why would you go back? They have portrayed themselves to be something completely different than they really are. And Bentinho Massaro has done exactly the same. His online persona might be helpful for you, might help you spiritually grow, whatever. But he's abusing people emotionally, sexually, offline. So I really think it's time to come to an end of this empire of Bentinho Massaro. So my question to all the Bentinho Massaro followers is, if he tells himself to be God, if he tells himself to be the I, pure loving consciousness, but yet can't prevent all of this negativity to get against him, all this bad press against him from happening, all these big people like Aaron Abke or whoever coming out against him. If he would be such a god, would he ever allow such stupid things happening against him? No. So stop putting him above human. He's not above human. He still needs to go to the toilet. He still wants to smoke cigars. He still wants to act like a teenage kid trying to fuck a woman to freedom, in his own words. That's the guy you're following. That's the guy behind the scenes, trying to get threesomes, trying to fuck his students, trying to take money from Jacqueline. If you haven't seen the Inside Guru series of Jacqueline, check Jacqueline's Inside Guru series, where he's just basically robbing her of money. He's not paying any of his students. All his students are just slaves. They have to work without getting paid. They have to assist him and help him all the time. They have to do everything for him because he is the channeler, the mission. He is like the Jesus. Everyone needs to assist him at all times without any cost, without wanting anything in return, just unconditional devotion towards him so that he can live his mission. And so I made this video actually more for the people who are still following Bentinho Massaro. This is literally a message to everyone who is still following him. Why do you still believe he's an authentic, real, good teacher? It's like you're stuck in North Korea, but you don't want to admit that Kim Jong-un is a liar, that Kim Jong-un is a dictator. You want to listen to his propaganda and believe whatever he says because it's painful to admit that it's wrong. Don't you think it's painful to admit for me that after 8 years of following Bentinho, that he is a complete douchebag? It's painful to admit. It's painful to admit that you're wrong, but just admit it. When someone cheated on you, there comes a phase where you need to admit that this happened, that he or she lived a double life and that they lied to you and that you cannot trust them anymore. And then you don't go back repairing the trust. You make that person go out of your life. If someone cheats on you, you're not going to give them a second chance because they have been lying from the very start, portraying themselves to be in love with you when they were hooking up with 1 or 2 or 5 or however many people. But they portray themselves to be so innocent and they have been so good for me in some ways. And I don't want to lose that good, so I rather pretend that she wasn't cheating. That's the same thing you're doing with Bentinho Massaro. You get some good from the meditations and stuff like that, so you don't want to pretend all of this happened behind the scenes. You want to pretend he wasn't running a cult. You want to pretend that Aaron Abke is lying. How could Aaron Abke be lying? He's the most genuine guy I've seen on the internet. I didn't know this guy. He seems so genuine, so cool, such an awesome guy. And also a question for Bentinho Massaro's followers is, if you have watched a lot of his videos, you have seen this type of asshole stuff come out sometimes. You know that he has some fucked up shit coming out sometimes. And sometimes you feel and think he's channeling something from the higher self, from someone else or whatever. But what if it's just his own fucked up shit coming out at that moment? Haven't you seen those videos where he's just yelling at people and where he's just fucking aggressive towards people in their face out of the name of healing or helping them? That's basically what Bentinho Massaro is doing all the time. He is abusing people in the name of healing, in the name of reflection. So what if I just go to a person, I start yelling at them, and instead of saying that I'm yelling and expressing all this anger that's inside me, I'm saying I'm a reflection. I'm reflecting your inner demons, or I'm reflecting your higher self. What kind of nonsense is this? We can do all kinds of BS out of the name of reflection. What if you just go to someone, you give them a slap in the face, and you say, I was just reflecting your demon, your inner demons. This is ridiculous. Like with words or emotions, it feels like it's not abuse. But imagine instead of yelling, he was slapping people in the face, telling them that it was their inner demons being reflected back at them. That's basically what he's doing on an emotional level. And also, if he's so much in spirituality, why does he dress like some businessman smoking cigars in a suit in a luxurious house? And why are all his followers, especially in his inner circle, that are some hot young women? Don't you think, like, if you have women around you, why it's not like a 50-year-old or a 60-year-old woman or whatever? Why does he have all the young, attractive girls around him? Isn't that weird? Don't you see the mask coming off and seeing who he really is behind the scenes? I hope this video is some wake-up call for someone following Bentinho Massaro. That's the reason I make this video, because I'm really happy Aaron Abke came forward, because I feel this will help actually Bentinho Massaro followers to wake up from the facade that Bentinho Massaro portrays himself to be in the public. And now we're getting to see the real Bentinho behind the scenes. And if you know the real Bentinho, then I feel most of you Bentinho Massaro followers wouldn't follow him anymore. And if you still would, I don't know anything that could save you. I don't know anything. I don't know what you want. Do you want Bentinho Massaro to convince you that he was wrong? Are you waiting for him to be accountable? Because he will never be accountable. Trump will never be accountable. These people are pigs. They are ruthless. They don't play by the rules. He's a Zen devil. And if you don't know what a Zen devil is, I made the video about it. He's a Zen devil. He's a typical example of what a Zen devil is. Doesn't matter how accurate your teachings are or whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how high conscious you are or whatever. If you have no morals whatsoever, you're all talk. And that's what Bentinho Massaro is. He's all talk. He doesn't embody anything he says. If he is so selfless, why is he never paying his students? Why is there never food in the fridge? Why does he complain to his students every time they ask for some basic needs? While he is talking about manifesting money and stuff like that. But his students can't live a rich life, because the richer his students, the poorer he is. And the poorer his students, the richer he is. The more he keeps for himself. And what is he doing with the money? Buying cigars, going to luxurious houses, buying a new suit. How selfless of him of doing all of that. So dear Bentinho Massaro followers, wake up, okay? Admit that you're wrong. I had to admit that I was wrong. I fell for his facade just like you did. Just admit that you fell for the facade for your own sake. Because I don't want anyone to come and say, I was stuck in a cult. I went to Bentinho Massaro's inner circle and now I'm stuck in it. I watched your video, but I didn't listen. I don't want to hear any of that. Okay, so this video is for a wake-up call for the people that are stuck in it. Just admit that you were wrong. It's fine. You don't have to say it publicly online. Just for yourself. Admit that you were wrong. Unsubscribe from Bentinho Massaro's account. Unfollow him on Instagram. Just make sure that he's out of your fucking life. I wish you all the best. My love goes still to all the people following. I know that he has this great persona online, but just admit he's wrong. And if you haven't seen the Inside Guru series, watch it. Watch the whole series, because you will see how fucked up he is. So I'm still sending love to all the people following Bentinho, because I know they're not bad people. They probably have just not seen the Inside Guru series. And if you have seen the Inside Guru series and started following him, like, why? What in the hell is going on in your mind? I want to know in the comments. Anyways, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.